So I ask people this question: can drinking water dehydrate you? And I get a variety of answers. So what do you ladies think? Can it dehydrate
Just by
you?
drinking plain water?
Mm-hmm.
I'd
I
say
guess
no, but I feel like this is a
yeah,
good question.
I think it can dehydrate you. I can see where you're coming from. I think what you're going to say is that drinking water can wash out the minerals in your body if you drink too much.
Yeah.
Well, you got it. And it's not even too much, because basically what happens when you drink, you pee. You drink, you pee, and this goes on and on and on. And what's happening is you're losing more and more minerals. So you have to replenish the minerals. And I'm not talking about this Gatorade junk and all that stuff. That is poison. And I mean, there's other stuff that we do. We drink coffee and blah, blah, blah. And that, I drink 2 cups a day. So some people drink more. But as long as you're aware that you are.
What about Himalayan salt, Himalayan pink salt?
That's okay. But the reason that I'm for this salt particularly is because it comes from the sea. And it's got iodine in it. And the other salts I'm not sure if they've got iodine in them. And iodine is vital for the thyroid. And there's lots of other information which we can talk about another time. Thyroid is where radiation and all kinds of things enter your body. And this is your metabolism gland, but that's another subject. I won't get into that now. So what I do is I have a glass bottle. I just use this bottle because I like it's glass. And this is my water, decent quality water, and I put that salt into it. That's the only way I drink my water.
Drink salt water.
And
just how much salt are you talking about? Like a small pinch, or how much?
Good question. Everybody's going to need a different amount, because your body has different needs. So basically what I tell people is put the salt in the water, shake it up, taste it. If it's too salty, obviously it's too much salt and you can add a bit more water. If it's flat tasting with no taste, it hasn't got enough salt in it, because the salt is what gives the water that vibrancy and that life. You know, salt comes out of the waterfalls and comes out of all these places. Our water used to be high in minerals, but with all this, I don't even want to go there, stuff that's been happening to our planet and all the junk stuff they're putting in, we're losing more and more minerals. So this is vital for people to replenish. So it's the salt and the CalMag. These are your minerals you need. So just to give you a little explanation there on that, you know, when the electricity comes into your house and it's working well, everything's working, all good, no problem. But when there's interference, flickering and blah, 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 and if there's a major power outage, electricity's off. In the human body, the central nervous system is the electricity of the body. And the central nervous system, the base of it is in your skull. And then it's all these nerves connected to all different parts of your body that do different things. So when it's all working well, then you're good. You don't have pain, you're happy, you sleep well, and you know, all these things. So when there's interferences, there's kind of flickering in the body. And in a worst case scenario, zip, heart attack, gone. But that's extreme.
So I was listening to what you were talking about, the interferences in the body and the salt. And, you know, one thing I was thinking about was, you know, doctors actually tell people to take less salt. You know, I mean, you're talking about the Celtic salt, which has got minerals. But then I also wanted to ask, what about mineral water? You know, like Evian, or, you know, if it's coming straight from the volcano, or, you know, Fiji water, hasn't that got minerals?
Yeah, you'd have to it might have, but you'd still have to test. You'd still have to be sure. And that is a good question about the blood pressure. I've tested, and many people now, the salt that is poison is that white stuff, and that is definitely a no-no. But this salt is so vital for the body. I've actually had people, and one lady from France came to see me her blood pressure was so high that there was a certain hotel she couldn't even go into because it was like scary high. So she came to see me and I tested her, and I used to be able to get these and I don't get them anymore, but this is seawater in this glass ampoule. When I tested her, she needed 8 of these. Then she called her doctor in France to, discuss it with him. And he said, no, you can't take salt, your blood pressure, blah, 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 But she didn't listen to him. She listened to me and took 8. The next day, her blood pressure was down. Because here's basically the thing. All these minerals is what the body needs. That white stuff is poison. That is a problem. So basically, if you're getting all the stuff you need, you're going to, now if you take, just to understand this, if I took this salt water in here and we did a chemical test of it, analysis, and you take your blood and test it chemically as well, it's almost identical chemically. So when you cry, your tears are. When you sweat and you lick it, if you prick your finger and you go like that, the blood is, that is just exactly how the body works. The blood system is salty.
I have a question as well. What about water retention? Because I find, like for me, I have water retention, especially in my ankles, I retain water very easily. So I try to avoid salt, you know what I'm saying? Because of water retention, because I can.
And what kind of salt?
I find like I just avoid salt in general. I have salt, but I've noticed I have water retention, so I know salt can cause water retention.
What kind of salt, though?
So
the junk salt.
Yeah, and I just in general thought any type of salt,
You'll have to test it for yourself, obviously. Try the real good salt. And then if you're still having that issue, then you might just need somebody to check and see you might need a bit more potassium or something. But that is just a sign of probably the wrong salt. But that's
okay. So you think potassium could be a balance for water? Because I know people say eat bananas and potassium could be a balance for water.
But it might not be the problem. It might just be the wrong salt, because this has got roughly about 80 minerals in it. And it's got potassium. It's actually got calcium, magnesium, and lots of it's got a lot of minerals. So basically your body I would test it for a while, the real salt, and get rid of anything other salt, and then see if it's still doing what the water retention thing.